Hey, hello, welcome
Yeehaw.
to the Most Accurate Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed our 17 seconds of bluegrass get down, I guess. We wanted to improve. We've had the same music for quite a while. Uh
Right.
5, 10 years, I don't know. So there's our new music. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Most Accurate Podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Akins, joined as always by Justin Edwards. Not matching today, which is nice for once. We did not match.
Yeah,
Even
usually we got like a good 70% hit rate on
yeah,
accidentally
we
matching.
match. Our initials match. It is what it is. Uh, Justin, how's it going? How's life these days? Mid October.
It's going good. I just started a nice long big diet yesterday, and I'm not in a bad mood yet. So we'll see.
Long. I'm sorry.
Ask me
Long,
again
big.
next week. Yeah,
Okay.
big long.
Like lifestyle change is what you mean by big long.
Yeah, like doing like a weight loss competition with friends, and
Oh,
we don't weigh
nice.
in until May, so it's a
Oh
long haul.
wow, that is long. Well, I am enjoying little October spooky vibe over here, as you
I
can see
see.
from my decor. I will say this, I have been introduced to a new genre of movies. I am not a horror movie person at all.
Yeah.
Like if it's real, I'm out, if it's anything like that. But I have recently been introduced to the B horror genre of movies, and I'm
Oh
kind of
yeah.
kind of obsessed. I've watched like 5 in the last 2 days.
Oh, give me a
Uh,
name. Give me a title.
okay. Poultrygeist is my favorite that
Yes.
I've watched.
Poultrygeist is amazing.
Oh, you've watched it. Okay. So you've
Yeah,
probably
or
seen all the ones.
yeah, like
Frank
trauma movies and B
exactly.
movies,
Yes. Yes.
campy, silly movies. I love those.
Yes. Last night
Poultrygeist.
Poultrygeist is it was the first one I've ever watched, and yeah, I'm in. Last night I have to say I watched one called Cannibal Mukbang. Which is
Okay,
not in that same. It's not a trauma.
that sounds kind of gross.
It's it's okay. Like it's worth a watch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're into cannibals and mukbang. It's actually, I believe it was not classified as like comedy slash horror. I think it was classified as regular horror, but I think it
That's still
leans on
funny.
the yeah, it's definitely leans on the comedy side. But anyway, that's what I've been up to.
I
Maybe we
love
should
that.
yeah. Let's get into some football. I guess that's what the people are here for,
All right.
not to hear about my side activities. Okay, let's get into. I guess let's recap last week.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even recap my last week. Oops.
Well,
Well,
here you want me to start off?
yeah, I guess. Oh wow. I was like, I'm done early prep today. What's up with that? That's
Yeah, like,
why I didn't
I
do
feel like I'm
this.
forgetting something, but who
Didn't
knows?
do. All right, why don't you start with tight ends and I'll
Yeah,
do a quick I'll do a quick quarterback
yeah.
thing.
Titans were kind of up and down. I feel like we had a good week last week, so I guess 2 weeks ago. This one was not so great. I led off with Mason Taylor, who had one catch for 2 yards,
Oof.
but also Justin Fields completed 9 passes while taking 9 sacks. So it was a pretty miserable watch for anyone that got up early to check that out. Harold Fannin came back with a tight end 8 performance, no touchdown this time, but he had 10 targets. David Njoku was in and out of the game and looks questionable for this upcoming week. So we'll talk about Fannin again here in a little bit. Theo Johnson was down at the tight end 34. Not great there, but the Giants did pull that win out. Colston Loveland down at tight end 42, so even worse, only 2.1 points. But AJ Barner takes a 61-yarder at the end of the fourth quarter to clock in as the tight end 15 with 8.6 points. So we had 2 top 15 performances and 3 pretty crappy performances. But we'll come back.
I grabbed I grabbed AJ Barner like at the last second in my guillotine league because I had Kincaid and I was like,
Oh yeah,
he was like leaning towards playing, but I was like, I'm going to screw myself if I don't because it's Monday night. So I was very glad that I put Barner in. I would have been fine guillotine wise. I wasn't even close to the bottom. However,
yeah.
it was still a good feeling, right? I had a good
Yeah, it's
pickup
nice
at
to
the
have those
last
points.
second. Okay, I think I got quarterback and then kicker I already have just because of the article. Okay, so wrapping up, we're gonna back up to quarterback. That was my bad. I was completely not prepared. Not a bad week actually for quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, who was my number one guy, was the QB9. Aaron Rodgers was 16. Bryce Young was 15. So, fringe QB1 output there. And then Michael Penix Jr. was the QB 20. So not horrendous in
Right.
that regard. It was okay. And then going to kicker. So Brandon McManus was my number one kicker. I did compare him to the McRib, and like the McRib, he was injured and
It was
out.
a very limited time.
Time he did not play. However, Luke Haversick was the kicker 11 on the week. So like the Green Bay kicker. I mean, let's be real. A kicker, like we're going off the team, not the actual kicker. So I'm going to take credit for Haversick being kicker 10 or a bit kicker 11. I'm sorry. And then we had Matt Gay was kicker 16 with 8 points. Matt Prater, brutal, kicker 29 with 2 points. You guys watched last night. They just didn't kick at all. Yeah. And then I had Mike Badgley, who is now the Colts kicker, was kicker 17. And then Andres Borregales was kicker 21. So really not a great week at all. Very forgettable in the kicker department. And unfortunately,
kicker 11.
Oh, yes, one who I didn't even mention, but whatever. I will say though, foreshadowing this week might even be grosser, but we'll get there later. All right, talk about D real quick.
Defense, pretty decent all around. Patriots tied for the defense 12. The Commanders and the Cowboys were tied for the defense 16. But the Raiders were the number one defense last week, taking on the Titans. So I'll put a feather in my cap for that one. 2 16s, a 12, and the D1. So, not bad.
Listen, we've had worse weeks for sure.
We've had worse.
We've definitely had worse. All right. This brings us to the weird sport of the week. We did get a viewer submission, but it was late. So we're going to go with, we went on my own here and found something that I thought was kind of interesting. I mean, as we talk about every week, 2 years in, it's slim, but weird sport of the week is vertical soccer. Yes, you were right. Vertical soccer, not an actual sport, I guess yet, but it was created by Adidas in Japan. It is I guess a promotional gimmick for now, but vertical soccer is played on a billboard, like a live full-on billboard in the street.
What?
Yeah. So basically you've got 2 players and a goalie. So 3 total players on each side, tethered to a billboard by some sort of bungee, whatever they use to tether. The ball is also tethered to the billboard. Clearly, it's not going to stay up there vertically on a billboard. And it looks like, in the photo, like it almost looks like marionette. Like there's dudes with strings. Like I don't know if they have to give them like leeway for them to move. I don't know, but basically, the billboard is painted to resemble a mini soccer field / football, depending on what part of the country you're in. Being that this is in Japan, I guess it is football. There's goalposts on both ends. And the objective is to work against gravity, keep your foot on the board at all times, and score goals. There you go.
That
I would
sounds
do
like
it.
tetherball.
It kind of kind of. I mean, tetherball. I hated tetherball, man. I think because I was short.
We always just would hit it and then get tired of it and go do anything else,
like it wasn't fun ever. And someone always got hurt, like you always got nailed in the head or the little thing wrapped around your neck or whatever. It's not a very fun. I don't know. I don't know if it's still around. But back in our day,
back in our
day, all we had. That and like the Foursquare or whatever and hopscotch.
Now, I'm here for some Foursquare though.
I am too actually. But I am too. Haven't played in a very long time, but I would totally be here for it. Okay, so there you go. Vertical soccer. Would you try it?
No, I'm a baby about heights.
Oh, are you really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have height issues. So I'd be down. I would give it a whirl. I think it would be fun. I mean, look, as long as I don't have height issues, as long as I'm tethered. Like I'm not going to free climb like the, Eiffel Tower or anything. But if I'm harnessed in, I'm all about it. I have no problem with that. All right. There's our weird sport of the week. Like I said, next week we have a fan submission that we'll probably do. But for now, that's that. All right. Reminder to everyone who is new or maybe forgot, this is the streaming show. We do quarterbacks, tight ends, kickers, and defenses. Everyone that we mention is 40% rostered or less on Yahoo. So if someone you're looking to roster is at 42%, they don't count and they're not on the show. But they're probably a good pickup because it's ugly out there right now in the world. All right. Let's normally we take some questions. We only have our friend Samuel Burks is here. No question, just a comment. I had Drake May, London, JSN, and the Broncos D. Nice. Oh, but you still lost. 179 to 178. Pain.
So annoying.
Yeah, that's pain, Samuel. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can turn it around this week. We've
That's
all
why I
been
like
there.
all play in leagues when it's an option.
Yeah.
Then you kind of go one and one.
I agree. I'm in the I think I've told you, but I'm in an FFPC Big Gorilla, which I've never been in before. And this week was like they had just an all week, like out of nowhere. Like I guess I mean it's not out of nowhere. I'm sure people that are paying attention know, but I wasn't. Because it's been head to head. And then all of a sudden this week, I was like Thursday night, I keep looking at my lineup and it's a different person opposite. I'm like, I swear the person had Devonta Smith. Well, I was like, the person that I just saw had Devonta Smith, and now they don't. Like, what? I was so confused. I had to hit up our FFPC person, Connor Allen. Well, our everything person, Connor Allen. I was like, what's going on with this?
What's
happening?
Like,
oh, he's like, yeah, week 6 is all play. Like top 6 teams win. So that would have worked out for you, Samuel, and it worked out for me because I think I came in third. I think I probably would have, beaten all but like 2 people. So, whatever. All right, let's get to quarterbacks this week. It's kind of a weird week for quarterbacks. There's a lot, but also not a lot, if that makes sense. Like the best options have the worst matchups possible. So I'm going to get to the ones that don't have the worst matchups possible first, and then I'll just kind of throw the rest of them out there for you guys if you want to start them. The first streamer I have is Joe Flacco against Pittsburgh. He is 8% rostered at the moment. Excuse me. Joe Flacco, quick turnaround, right? He's on his 19th team in the last whatever years.
Right.
He shows up on the road. He's got a 65% completion percentage. He's, posted 219 yards and 2 touchdowns on a team he was with for 5 minutes. So shout out to Joe Flacco for doing that. This week, he does play Pittsburgh at home against your Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers are 27th. I'm sorry, not against your Bengals, but as a part of your Bengals. Yeah. You know what I meant.
I was following.
You know what I meant. So the Steelers are 27th in quarterback schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed. They're allowing 20.2 fantasy points per game to enemy quarterbacks. So Flacco is shockingly the number 1 streamer in 2025. Here we are. Any thoughts on that, Justin?
No, I mean, I'm just here for the Flacco love. I can't wait till they beat the Steelers by 3 touchdowns, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Those are my only thoughts.
Okay. Well, on the other side of the ball, we have Aaron Rodgers as my second streamer of the week. He is playing in Cincinnati, obviously. He is 20% rostered at the moment. He's coming off a really good outing. He had 235 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. Your Cincinnati Bengals are 28th. Actually, they're basically tied with the Steelers. They have the exact same schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed number at 20.2. Yeah. So they're basically 27th, 28th. Not great, by the way.
Not great.
Not great, but that is the deal. And also the Bengals have allowed the second most passing yards, 268 per game, and a total of 12 touchdowns so far to quarterbacks. So Aaron Rodgers, we've got 2 40-year-olds / 41-year-olds as my top 2 streamers of the week. Yay for us olds.
Is this the oldest matchup ever?
Oh.
Was it 41 and 42 or something?
Yeah, it may be. We have to do some research on that.
Yeah.
It might be the 2 oldest quarterbacks going against each other in a game. That would be, yeah. I don't know what kind of narrative. I don't know what kind of narrative that is, but it is one. And I will say one more thing about Aaron Rodgers. Next week, if you want to stream him, he's got a revenge game against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh.
That's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you want to grab him now and hold him for 2 weeks, Angry Aaron Rodgers is a very good Aaron Rodgers. You've got Angry Aaron Rodgers and no sex Aaron Rodgers, right? I haven't checked on that. That used to be a stat.
Yeah.
When he was not having sex, he was a better quarterback. I don't know what his relationship status is right now because I stopped, paying attention once he kind of went off the deep end there a little bit. But back in the day, as you remember, that was a narrative that I would often discuss. And the data was there to back it up. So we've got angry and no sex Aaron Rodgers and revenge. I like it. for week 8. But back to this now. Michael Penix Jr. is my third quarterback streamer. So he's coming off a very big primetime game last night where he got the win. He gets another one. He's playing on Sunday night against the 49ers, who are permeable in
there it is.
There it is. They're permeable to quarterbacks. I mean, they're 13th. Like, they're not as low as others we've mentioned, but decent matchup there for Michael Penix. He and he's only 23% rostered, and he had like I said, he had a great game last night. And I assume he'll look to keep it rolling. So, okay, I've got 2 other names to throw out to you guys that are good players with really bad matchups, but people are probably going to still going to want to stream them anyway. You've got Sam Darnold against Houston, who are the number 1 team right now against quarterbacks. And then you have Jackson Dart in Denver against the second best team against quarterbacks. So both very ugly, but they are there, and I'm sure people are going to want to stream them. But just, temper those expectations because they are the number 1 and 2 defenses in the NFL. So to wrap it up with a nice big bow, we've got old men Flacco and Rodgers, young Michael Penix Jr., and then we've got Sam Darnold and Jackson Dart. Samuel points out that Penix didn't get the win. Bijan got the win. I get it for sure. But, and wins are not stats for quarterbacks. I know I wasn't using it as a stat. It was more of a leeway into the discussion of him coming off an exciting win, whether it was his fault or not, or whatever, at his hands. You know what I mean? But yes, Bijan had a fantastic game last night. I do not have him on any teams. Okay. Because I'm sure everyone cares. Moving on to tight end. Justin, who did you bring for us today to stream?
We've got a number of options, kind of warts, at least one small wart for all of them. But we'll start things off with Harold Fannin, who continues to be under rostered. But now that Njoku was in and out of the lineup Sunday and could miss this week 7, I would assume that this is the last time we talk about Fannin, although they do have a bye week coming up. So we'll see if Njoku moves to another team or not. Fannin gets the Miami Dolphins this weekend. And it's really in play whether Njoku plays or not. But if Njoku is out, he probably moves from like a top 12 play to like a top 7, top 5, maybe even play. We've still got no Tillman there. The underneath game is really where Dylan Gabriel is living. So kind of caps the ceiling on Fannin, but not enough to not want to play him over almost every other tight end in the National Football League. He's available in 73% of leagues. After him, it does take a bit of a sharp downturn. We've got Mason Taylor, who just came off that 2-yard game. So I understand why people would prefer not to play him.
He can only go up, right? Well, I guess
right. Yeah. Well, I guess he could go backwards.
He could.
But he does get the Panthers. The Panthers are 32nd, dead last, and schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed to the tight end position. And I believe he gets, I'm stalling. Yeah, he gets the Bengals next week too. So he gets Carolina this week, who are 32nd. He gets the Bengals next week, who are 31st. I feel like we could probably get a bounce back here. And Justin Fields can't play any worse. And if Tyrod Taylor goes out there, that's still not bad news for who we're assuming is the number 2 pass catcher for the Jets for the rest of the season, probably. Taylor's still available in 60 leagues. I say we just scrub last week from our collective memories and roll him back out there. Then a few more here. I've got AJ Barner, who caught that 61-yard touchdown to save his day. He had 2 catches for 10 yards prior to that, but we'll take a 61-yard gain to.
He's had a touchdown in how many weeks? 3 now? Or
yeah, he's got 4 touchdowns. That 61-yarder actually didn't go for a touchdown, oddly enough.
Oh, okay.
Going 61 yards and not getting to the end zone is funny, but that's just how far
we'll
away they were.
We'll take it, though, point-wise, for sure.
Yeah. He does get the Texans, as you mentioned, with Darnold, so not a fantastic matchup. But he has been on the field a ton. Elijah Arroyo is getting out there. They're just playing some 2 tight end sets, and Arroyo has 7 catches on the season. So even though he's out there a lot, he's just not part of Darnold's read. We'll see if that continues after their bye week, which is in week 8. But for now, AJ Barner is still a good play. On the other side of things, we have Cade Otton, who is kind of forcibly being pushed into the fantasy mindset with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Egbuka on their own separate injury timelines. And even when Godwin was back, he didn't look that great.
He was in my dead weight report this morning.
Yeah, I was just typing him up for something else when we were talking earlier. Otton is coming off a 4 for 81 performance in week 5, and then a 5 for 51 performance in week 6. He's got a 19.6% target share over these last 2 weeks with all those wide receiver injuries. He gets the Lions, who are kind of a middling defensive matchup for tight ends, but Baker's got to throw it to somebody, including some wide receivers I'd never heard of, but Tez Johnson and Cameron John something else, someone else I've never heard of. So yeah, anyways, Cade Otton with no wide receivers on the field, he's being looked at finally. And finally, I've got Michael Mayer here against the Chiefs. Not a great matchup. And this all depends on whether or not
I need Brock to come back. So let's just ignore the Michael Mayer, please.
I know, exactly. But
I can't.
Sadly for you and all of us, the Raiders do have a bye coming up. So they might just
keep him. Yeah.
They might keep Bowers on the bench until week 9, which stinks. It would open the door for Michael Mayer. I'm not super stoked about it, but if you're in a tight end premium league or somehow all these other guys are already taken, Michael Mayer is out there. There's not a lot of hands to go around these Geno Smith passes. I almost said something completely different. But yeah, he's fine, especially as a deep league play. So to wrap all those up, Harold Fannin with a bullet. He's available in 73% of leagues. Mason Taylor's a fine play against 2 poor defenses these next 2 weeks. He's available in 63%. AJ Barner, 85% available. Cade Otton, 88% available. And for deep league sickos, Michael Mayer is at 2%. And Aronde Gadsden, who I didn't write up, is also like 2%. So he's also an option.
All right. I like it.
That seemed like a lot.
It is, but I'm glad. Listen, like I told you, I have Fannin in the league. Yeah. So I'm happy at least. I don't have to deal. Like he's fine.
Yeah.
Tight end. I mean, it's just amazing how gross it is every year. And every year there's optimism, right? The whole season, we're like, all right, you've got your elite, and then the middle. There's a good middle this year, and then there's never a good middle. We always end up here. No matter what happens, we end up here. Like even, guys like Andrews, and it's like, we end up here. But you know what? Good thing for streaming, and it works. So we're here. Okay, we have no questions this week. There are people watching though. Right now, there's 314 of you watching, but no one seems to have any questions, which is fine.
That's fine.
Justin and I will just keep
enjoy the ride.
Yeah, we will just enjoy the ride, and we'll just keep going. We'll move on to kickers. I guess Lee Ving abandoned me because of maybe because I had Brandon McManus. He's been a very loyal watcher. Maybe he's here. He just doesn't have anything to say. Maybe it's the whole, if you have nothing nice to say, like you suck at picking kickers. Hopefully this week we do a little bit better. I mean, listen, I had a kicker 11. All right. So we have, injuries, right, are no exception around the league. Kickers, here we are. There's so many kicker injuries. Like it's crazy. Like I don't remember a season, and I've been, intensively focused on kickers for about a decade now. And I don't remember a season where there's so many injuries. Maybe there have been, and I just have not noticed. But
I mean, it's weird. If you could pick one position that would presumably never get injured, it would be
right. I mean, I pulled this and that every now and then, but it's like there's so many. So my first two streamers are actually placeholders because we don't know who's kicking for them right now. The number 1 kicker of the week is the Bears kicker. It may be Jake Moody, it may be Cairo Santos. I don't know yet. Moody had the walk-off last night, or that was 2 nights? No, that was 2 nights.
That was last night.
Was it last night? Okay.
These Monday double headers do mess me up though.
I'm very confused for a second. Yeah. I was like, when was that? But yeah, so Jake Moody, after sucking in San Francisco and getting waived, is now covering in for Cairo Santos, who has a thigh injury. So I don't know. Like I said, he had the walk-off last night. One of them will be the kicker. They are both 1% rostered. So you're loving life. The Bears are playing at home against New Orleans. They are 5.5-point favorites with a 26-point team total, which I believe is the fourth highest of the week. Unfortunately, the three highest are all very heavily rostered kickers. So whether it's Moody or Santos, whoever the Bears kicker is, hopefully we'll find more information before waivers tonight. But as of before this podcast, it's either or. But like I said, they're both very widely available. So the second one I have, once again, placeholder, Packers kicker. Brandon McManus has a quad injury. Don't know if he's going to be back yet or not. If not, Lucas Havasik had a very good week. Like I said, he was a kicker 11, so he's capable. They're actually on the road against the Cardinals. So McManus is 16% rostered and Havasik is 1% rostered. So they're both pretty available. They are 6.5-point favorites with a 25.5 team total. So those are your first two. Is going to be an either or, unfortunately. Our third slotted guy is actually a kicker with no competition, no issues. Eddie Pinheiro. He is at home against the Falcons, as I mentioned earlier about Penix. They are playing on the road. Or yeah, Pinheiro is home. And for those of you that still don't know, he is the 49ers kicker this year. Pinheiro. It's weird. Like you hear his name and you're like Panthers, but it's just like, he's not. So he's against here. He's the 49ers. He is 24% rostered, so still widely available for you guys. They are a field goal favorite by 3 with 24.25 as their team total. And then I have one more little bonus guy that I keep rolling out here, and that's Andres Borregales.
It's just fun to say.
It is.
You can admit it. It's okay.
It is fun, and it's not Andres Galarragas, but it's close. Different sport. But yes, and you know what? On Yahoo they have him as Andy. So and we have him as Andres. So yeah. I don't know. He might go by Andy, and we're just behind here at 4 for 4. Not sure. But we have to have everything link up and sync up as far as our writing goes. So that's why it's Andres. But he may be Andy. Not sure. But anyway, they are on the road in Tennessee. They are actually a full touchdown favorite in that contest. So they're 7-point favorites with a 24.5 implied team total. So there you go. Big Bo, we got Bears kicker, Packers kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, and Andres Borregales. There's a couple more in my streaming kicker article that went live this morning. But I won't, I wasn't going to bring 7 kickers for you guys. I could keep going, as you know. I will not. Okay, we've got a question here from Jonathan Santiago. Hold on, let me remember how to do this. Okay. Would you trade away Wan'Dale for Zay Flowers with Lamar returning next week?
Yeah.
Probably. I would. Yeah. Wan'Dale is hit or miss. I mean, listen, Dart's been great, but yeah. Lamar and Zay Flowers have a little something there that I think is better. Agreed?
Yeah. Also, I mean, with Lamar returning, their implied team total is going to jump like 9 points. So
yeah, exactly. There's
plenty of touchdown equity there as well.
Agree. Alan, I know you don't love kickers, but I do appreciate you writing that. Okay.
I might.
No, I know Alan. He doesn't. Yeah, he definitely doesn't like kickers, but he's just here to mess with me, which is totally fine. I'm on board with that. All right. Justin, defenses. What you got?
Let's do it. Decent options this week, I would say. Probably my favorite, or I'd say is my favorite. The Bears take on the Saints this week. Bears look pretty good coming out of their bye week. Got that one point win over the Commanders this weekend. They racked up 3 turnovers and 3 sacks on Jaden Daniels.
That was last night, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
it was.
Right, yeah. I had forgot, even though I just told you it was last night. So last night, yeah.
Yes.
Coming out of their bye yesterday. The Saints are pretty interesting, honestly, for a team that's absolutely going to be like a top 5 pick. They're at least kind of fun to watch sometimes. Spencer Radley only has 1 interception on the year, but he has 9 turnover-worthy plays. So we just got a lot of balls clinging off of defenders' hands. We could see some regression there. He's also had the 3rd most raw pressures of any quarterback. He's had 86 pressures. That's behind only Cam Ward and Justin Herbert behind that banged-up Chargers offensive line. So the Bears kind of with a bullet here. They're available in 93% of leagues. They would be my favorite streamer. Next up, we have the Jets versus the Panthers. The Panthers offense did look pretty good this past weekend, but that was against the Cowboys defense, which is pretty widely known to be a very bad defense. The Jets are coming off of that horrific game where they did everything in their power to win, and the offense did the exact opposite. I'm going to assume that the Panthers are not going to average like 6.5 yards a carry again for the third game in a row. But look, you can only doubt Rico Dowdle so many times, but I still think the Jets are a good play against Carolina this week. And then my last two defenses are in the same game. The Dolphins are flying to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Those are both two offenses kind of just sputtering along. Two is coming off that 3 interception game. Who knows how long the front office and the head coach and the quarterback are going to continue to be playing for Miami. This might be the nail in the coffin here. The Browns are available in 62% of leagues. And if you want to get spicy, you could go with the Dolphins on the other side of the ball to attack Dylan Gabriel in a pretty suspect offensive line there. And the Dolphins are available in 97% of leagues. So all 4 defenses. The Bears are at 7% rostered. The Jets are at 10% rostered. The Browns are at 38% rostered. And the Dolphins are at 3% rostered.
So much pain my Dolphins inflict on me.
It's not looking great.
It's
not
like
that Cincinnati's looking any better, but
listen,
neither of our teams are looking very good.
I had a fantastic run as a child, and I have to just keep that because it's never like it's been so bad ever since. Thankfully, I grew up in the Marino era. Very good offenses, very good teams. They didn't win the Super Bowl clearly, but they went. Very good childhood with the Dolphins, and it's been just pain ever since. Year in and year out, pain from like top to bottom as far as management, ownership, all the way down. Pain. Pain. All right. I think we did it. Yes. Oh wait, we got some questions. Adrian Gonzalez, Evans for Diggs.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, I guess, on the rest of your team, but I don't hate it.
There's no guarantee that Evans comes back and he's like fully back to form either.
Yeah, and Diggs is pretty hit or miss. I mean, that offense is decent, right?
Yeah.
But he's been kind of hit or miss. Okay, we got one more here. Would you trade Ferguson and Tet for Chase Brown? I would not. It depends. I mean, it depends on if you really need a running back, but I personally would rather have the other two.
I'd rather have Ferguson than probably all but like 4 tight ends. 3 tight ends. He's like a top 5 tight end is what I'm trying to say.
He is. And T-Mac has been pretty good. I mean, and Chase Brown, I mean, I don't know. You pay attention.
I think it's a little too much.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
Ferguson
send
I don't even know.
Maybe send a different tight end and you can get rid of T-Mac.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question here. As a handcuff running back, who do you see as more valuable? Kendre Miller or Algier? Ooh. I mean, as standalone Algier, I think, but Bijan's not going anywhere unless something happens, right?
And Kamara could be going somewhere.
And Kamara. So yeah, I mean, they're both good. Like I would like to have either of them right now on my bench.
I think I'd rather have Kendre Miller, but I mean, I would also argue that Tyler Algier is the more, the better back of the two.
Yeah, like if you were dealing with buy issues and you had to insert one now, I'd rather go with Algier. I don't know. That's a tough one. Try to get them both, Samuel. That's
both.
Oh, look, Lee Ving did show up. He went rogue and started little for little points. See, you can't go rogue, Lee. Nope, you can't go rogue. You must follow my no, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry that little got you little points, but it happens. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next Tuesday, same time, same channel, I guess. This is a channel.
Just the channel.
Make sure you check out everything on 4for4. We have a lot, the usual going on there. Tons of articles, tons of shows, tons of tools, all the things. Let's see if I can figure out how to play our outro music at the same time. I might not be able to do that, people. So I don't know. We'll see. Bye, everyone. See you next week. Oh, nope, not going to happen. All right, ending stream. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.